Hello and welcome to MotorCult episode 56. I'm Eric Berger, joined as always by Ryan Sinitsky. Hello, sir.
Who? What? Why?
That's you.
That's me.
Yep. Welcome back for a gloomy, almost wintry Saturday.
Yes. Hey, you know what we have?
What?
Found I have a good beer.
Surly Pentagram?
Yeah, this is a
Yeah,
I think it's.
I've had this in the fridge for quite a while, so I figured it was time to open
I've got my pentagrams in the refrigerator as well.
it. Here?
No, my house.
Oh, I see.
I've got pentagrams and darknesses.
I was gonna say I don't think I've seen those. But yeah, I got
Very
this
good.
one. I think Alex Bellis brought this when he was on as a guest.
I think I recall him doing that. Yeah.
It's been a long time, but
But
anyway, pretty good.
The pentagram is one of my favorite beers ever. I usually don't like Surly, but like when they do it right, they do it really right.
And this is a really old bottle too. So I mean, this is before they lost their head brewer, I think.
Yeah, they're kind of like the BMW of breweries, where if they do it right, they do it really right. But if they do it wrong, then it's just not very good at all.
Yeah, I mean, Surly is one of those places where I feel like they are. I mean, they're a very good brewery for sure, but I feel like they focus like Summit on things with hops.
Yeah, no, they're super hop focused. I would still say they're better than Summit because Summit also tastes like dumpster water. So
I recently went to Summit's tap room and I actually really liked it.
none of their beers really do it for me. Like,
Well, it's probably because you've had like EPA and
no. I mean, like at their tap room. Like,
oh, they have a bunch of good ones at the tap room.
I mean, I guess I've tried like their dark lagers and stuff, and it wasn't. Nah.
Their Pilsner, their Hefeweizen, their Oktoberfest.
I've not tried their Hefeweizen, so maybe I should.
I don't know. I mean, their tap room's a little, I guess, outdated, but like they've been around since 1986. I mean, they were a microbrewer before a microbrewer.
That's true. That is true. They're kind of that quasi, nearly macro.
They're,
Like,
yeah.
Um,
Hipster brewery.
no, but no, Surly, their brewery, and their head chef that they have there, fantastic.
Yeah. The food is actually surprisingly good.
The food I like more than the beer, but that being said, their smoked porter that they have, I think it's a smoked porter. That's really good.
Is that's not malt smoke, is it, or whatever?
No, this one's just called Smoke.
Okay.
Surly Smoke, but it's really good, and it goes super well with beef brisket.
Yeah, I know the beer you're talking about, and I'm really not a fan.
It's one of those things I would not ever drink that outside of in that brewery.
Mm-hmm.
I would never
I just
search it out. But
Just my palate and that thing are not compatible for
That's
whatever reason.
That's
It's just
totally
it grabs me a little bit differently. So, but yeah, no, Pentagram I like quite a bit. So
good. Anyway, what's speaking of millennials and beers and shit like that.
where do millennials come from?
Well, we were talking about craft beer, and we
Oh,
always get
right.
accused of like killing the beer industry or killing the napkin industry or the moist towelette industry or something.
Where did I put my coaster? Damn it!
I don't know.
Oh, that's a bummer. I guess I'll use the backside of a MotorCult sticker. Anyway, sorry. Please continue with your topic.
Anyway, you know how we get accused of like killing everything, right?
What?
Millennials.
I'm not a millennial.
Yeah, we literally, by definition of age.
No, see, a generation is not something you can skip. So my parents are boomers. So I'm Gen X.
Yeah, but
So are you?
I mean, yeah, technically, but
I don't go by age, range of birth.
It's more of a cultural thing.
Depends on how you want to identify.
Okay, whatever. Anyway,
Millennials are accused of ruining everything? Yes, I know.
Yes,
about
and we
this.
get accused of being millennials, regardless of how old our parents are.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, I mean, I can just not tell the story.
No, you can go for it. I'm just telling you, I do not identify as a millennial.
All right, fine. Next one. Well, I just won't talk about it.
Just don't try to relate it to me, that's all.
Well, that's how you. Whatever. Anyway.
I'm still happy to talk about it.
Well, no. So okay. So I don't know. We'll talk about it later.
Oh, come on.
No, well, no, it's fine. It's whatever. I mean, it's fine. We're just gonna roll on to the next.
No. Let's talk
Okay.
about.
All right. So anyway, you are aware that there are millennials.
I am aware, yes, of this generation.
You are aware that millennials are accused of killing anything and
Absolutely.
everything.
Yeah, millennial bashing.
Yes, millennial bashing. Exactly. One of the things they get accused of is
Mm-hmm.
killing the car industry.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Because they don't look upon cars as like a lustworthy or like something to work towards.
That's the thing, though. I don't see that, though. I see a lot of millennials that do.
Well, right, but you and I are in the car scene. I mean,
Yes.
we are around a lot of younger people that are into it. I don't
That is
think
true, yeah.
necessarily that everyone is like that, but I mean,
Yeah,
I know
but
a lot
if
of
you-
people our age.
But
that are
if
just
you
like,
if you look at Gen Xers and the relative amount of Gen Xers who are like into cars, like it's not too far off.
Right.
Like, for like,
Right.
like demographics,
for
like
sure.
for the percentage, like it's about the same amount.
Mm-hmm.
It's just there are less millennials than there were Gen Xers, and there's less Gen Xers than there were, baby boomers. So
Right.
just statistically, there's a smaller number of people
Right.
because of that.
right.
However, I really want to talk about like why everybody assumes that millennials aren't really into cars.
Right.
Because cars it's one of those things where they're expensive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like a new one,
Yeah, exactly.
which are a lot of millennials want. I mean, they want an electric car. They want something with crash safety stuff, blind spot monitoring.
Yeah, exactly. They want everything, anything and everything. Well, that's what we're told that we want.
Right.
I really don't run into that many
They're
millennials.
future buyers.
No, I mean that's the thing. I don't know that many millennials that go like, yes, I need this thing. Like most millennials are like, I just want a cheap car.
Right. Like I'd like that. Like
But
that'd be cool.
I think. Well, the thing is like we also
So low key.
Yeah. Well, when we graduated into the real world from
Yeah.
high school in 2008 or so,
Something like that.
or like some older millennials that are like graduated from college around then.
Sure.
There's kind of like a massive recession happening. That was like the worst recession ever.
It was yeah. Okay, fine.
No, actually,
it was the worst recession. It wasn't quite a depression.
No, that's what I was saying.
Yes,
like
yeah.
it is the worst
Yeah.
recession. It was
Yeah, the
nearly
recession
a
of,
depression.
what was it, April 2008? I think that's when that was.
Yeah, it's like April to
Like a year and a half. It was a long time.
it was like April till like from 2008 till like sometime in 2009. It was awful.
Yeah,
But-
I definitely remember that.
Yeah, me too. Anyway, so we graduated high school right into that.
Yeah, the tail end of it, but still, yes.
But I mean, well, that's the thing is you're coming out of high school and now now you're coming out of college. More importantly, well, nobody's hiring. Nobody's be hiring a bunch of new people in the middle of a recession, and then you're just to sit there and try to hope for the best. Then you got
Right.
other bills that build
And
up.
that's the thing. I mean, the job market was an absolute pile
Of crap,
doggy
yeah.
doo
And
when we got out.
By the time we finally got everything, ready, like a lot of got everything sorted out. A lot of millennials had just moved on with their life.
Right. And their parents, whether they were ex or boomer, they're like, why don't you just go get a job with no experience right out of college with a full pension and nice salary?
Because that doesn't exist anymore.
Exactly.
Like,
Nobody's willing to train you.
That disappeared 5 years ago when I graduated from college.
It probably
like,
disappeared a lot longer ago than
But
that.
I mean, like, completely.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah,
It's
that's...
gone.
Yeah, it was gone by that point. Well, that's the thing is a lot of people like don't look at that.
Right.
And then also once the economy did get back on its like feet, it was not good to anybody that didn't have a silver spoon in their mouth.
Correct.
Like if you were doing any less than really $125,000 a year, you're getting screwed from the economy right now.
Yep.
Like regardless of how you personally feel, like just compared to where you would have been in like 1995 versus now.
Oh,
like,
goodness, yeah.
Yeah, you're getting screwed.
Just go dish up gold Cougarans from a cup
I know.
and just put them into your baggie
But
on every public street corner.
yeah, so like, things like that, like a lot of millennials, it's very hard for them to get into a hobby that's as expensive as cars. And the thing is back in the 80s and the 90s, like where again it was kind of hard being middle class. Like the 80s, more importantly, you still had a bunch of really really cheap cars that were around. So like you could get kids that instead of buying the new hot like muscle car or whatever, you could get a 440 Challenger. A 440 Magnum Challenger, or just
Right.
like for $200,
Or I
like
love looking back on old advertisement
Yeah,
stuff for like
exactly.
cars. Like, oh, this BMW M1 was like $15,000.
yeah,
Right.
like you have stuff like that. Well, even now it's like I mean, if you adjust for inflation, like
Right.
that $200 440 Magnum Challenger would still
Right.
be like a $2,000-$3,000 car. Like that's
Right, but I mean, like, it's inflation and like the quality and the amount of hardware that goes into a new car versus
Yeah.
what went into a car back then. It's
Exactly.
not even close. So I
Yeah.
kind of get it.
But you also had stuff that this is a thing. You also had a subcompact market that was really on fire.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the
Oh,
80
yeah,
in
could be
the
gas
in the
prices
in
and all
the
that.
in well then yeah, because they were
birthed
they were
into, like,
coming
an
off of
enthusiast
that.
version,
They were
yeah.
coming off of that. So, you know, you had by the late 80s and early 90s, every manufacturer had a cool subcompact. I mean, you could run down just about everybody. You know, Volkswagen the GTI, then Honda had the Civic Si, Toyota had the Corolla FX16. There was the Pulsar NX. Like, everybody had a cheap small car that was still fun.
Right.
Even Yugo had the GVX. Like, every single manufacturer had a cool small car.
Well, almost everyone. Not,
Everyone
not
everyone
Renault.
that was in that. Good point.
Actually,
Everybody
they
that
did.
yeah, they did. But
The Alliance GTIR or whatever
yeah,
it was.
exactly. Like, even the Renault Alliance. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, everybody that was the Dodge Omni GLHS. Every single person that had every single company that had a car in that market wanted to make a hot one because they understood that, oh, people find these cars cool if they see a cool version, and then they're more likely to go out and buy the other one.
Right. Yeah, they want something fuel efficient but still fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And at that point, what they considered fun, they still called, fun to drive.
Right. Which,
Now,
that entire era kind of gave birth to the fun. I mean, it's not necessarily a hot hatch because they were still slow as crap back then, but
well, and so this is the thing. All right, so now they don't do that, and they're saying, well, nobody buys these cheap cars, and then really nobody ever buys the fun version of it. And the thing is yeah, no, millennials don't buy the new cheap hot hatch because they can't afford it.
right.
However, if you look at the used car sale, and this isn't going to help auto manufacturers anyway, unless they find a way to make a $10,000 car, it doesn't suck. Like, the used car sales through the roof.
Really?
Right now. Yeah, actually.
I associate millennial car buying with somebody that's buying something brand new.
No,
Like cost
absolutely
conscious,
not.
like,
No,
really.
it's like through the the used car market is the hottest now that it's ever been. And the other thing
And that's
is
saying something because around like the cash, like a couple of years after the cash for clunkers
Yeah.
thing, like used cars were like new
Garbage.
car pricing.
yeah,
Because like there were no good used cars
yeah,
anymore.
they were all clunkered
They were
out.
all
yeah.
clunkered out. Yeah.
Yeah. So so this is the thing. What we have is a bunch of really nice CPO cars. They're lease returns.
Okay.
So people get like a Fiat 500 Abarth and they'll
or
lease
a
it.
500e.
Yeah, exactly. But they'll get cars like that and they'll lease them, just like you. Yeah. You bought it. That's exactly
I
what
bought
you
an
did.
off-lease
yeah.
car. Yeah.
Yeah, it's these lease returns are
Yeah.
that's where every millennial's going. And
Because it's a cost-conscious decision to get a
Yeah.
newish car.
and the thing is, the ones that are selling really, really good in the used car market are
Mm-hmm.
the hot versions of it. The Fiat 500 Barths and
Yep.
E's sell faster than a Fiat 500 Pop.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Makes sense.
Well, even though they're all turbo now.
Yeah, but I mean, like, still, like,
Yeah.
the
3-year-old ones aren't.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Like, the lease return ones that are coming in still are NA. Another thing that we also have that makes car buying really hard for millennials is a lot of us live in cities.
Yep.
Where this is kind of ridiculous. Where it's
Parking
like,
is just a fortune.
yeah, parking's a fortune. It's, if you do park, you're going to be on the street and having your car just like having the living shit beaten out of it. This is PG-13. We are allowed one F-bomb, right?
I don't know the rating differences, but
Did they get rid of that? Or
I don't know. I never like looked into how many like of certain. I don't want to say one right now because then we may like go over the amount. but-
is it like per episode or is it per season? We don't know this. We need a lawyer. Play a lawyer up. But anyway,
I'll get Repka on.
yeah, thank you. But yeah, no, like a lot of these that again leads to buying a used car versus a new one. Nobody's
Right.
going to want to. No, there aren't going to be any
Well, it's
millennials
'cause
that live in.
millennials are very cognizant of where they spend their limited money.
Exactly.
It's like if I can buy a car that is almost identical and has 30,000 miles for less than half the price, they're going to do that because it's a much more cost-conscious decision.
Am I going to eat this depreciation or am I going to buy the car from the asshole that ate it?
Right.
You know?
Or if I buy one off lease, I could buy the 340i instead of the 320i, and it's going
Exactly.
to have all the options instead of none of the
So,
options.
and that's the thing. That's where millennials are kind of having their. That's why when people say, "Oh, millennials are killing the car market," that's not true. I
They're
mean,
just slower getting going because they hit higher ages before they do every milestone in life.
Yeah,
because they don't have any money.
yeah, exactly. It's exactly that. You're the only person I know that's a millennial that owns a house.
I resent that, sir.
I don't even care.
Just push through. It's fine.
that owns a house.
Yeah.
Definitely the only one I know that owns a Ferrari. like you're really like an outlier with that.
Which
because
is why I identify as a Gen X.
you also got like super lucky, like coming out of the recession. Like,
Yep.
You totally.
I'm
lucked
glad
out.
I was in college at the time.
Yeah, like there were a lot of people that did not get that lucky.
No, had I graduated 4 years earlier,
Yeah.
oof.
No, I know a lot of people from Edina that like had, a gold spoon in their mouth that are.
Ooh.
Yeah, now they're like, yeah, man, I live in Uptown. I make $12 an hour as a barista. Cool.
Sounds
What's your
good, man.
parents like? What's your parents' elevator in their house like? Have you been there recently?
Can I go fart in it?
Yeah, like.
I want to see if it echoes.
But anyway, so
Wow.
pushing through all this.
Yep.
Another thing that leads millennials towards used cars, not new,
Mm-hmm.
is have you ever seen like what insurance cost changes
Oh, yeah.
are? Like
yeah.
95 Camry versus a 2015 Camry.
Yeah, but it's not always what you expect.
It is
A lot
generally
of the newer cars I own are like, even like the Fiat is like way more to
no.
insure.
There's a happy medium.
Well, I know
yeah.
it depends on what you buy, but I'm like, if I were to buy a Model 3 right now, the insurance would be just through the roof.
Yeah.
And that's because Tesla will only sell certified body shops replacement parts for them,
Oh my god.
and the parts are in short supply, so like they're really expensive to insure. But that's we won't touch on insurance too much just because it's such a rabbit hole. We'll
But
probably
no,
have to do an
that
episode
is
on
a
it someday
thing though.
after.
Is like
Oh,
insurance
yeah.
is crazy expensive for
It's
anything.
nutty.
Anything that you would ever get excited about, insurance would be through the roof.
And it's expensive for people as young as millennials.
Yeah, and
too,
and that's the thing is like that was not a thing at all. Like for Gen Xers or anybody, we're really the first.
Right, because data acquisition got so good, and they
Yeah.
started identifying risk pools a little bit better. Now it's so pinpointed, they can just gouge you like crazy.
Yeah, no, it's like if you forgot to shave that morning, your insurance premium goes up $20. It's just ridiculous.
Right.
Imagine what my insurance my
Oh,
insurance
man.
is.
I
Nothing.
also did not shave this morning, but my insurance is substantial.
Yeah, no, mine's nothing. But that's also why that's why I'll just admit I'm a millennial, but it's one of those things where that's why I drive the weird cars I drive. Because
Yeah.
I want something that's fun to drive, but the insurance difference between a Mazda Speed 3 and a Mazda 5,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's $100 a month. So that Mazda 5 will be my fun car, and then I'll have a picture of Toyota Supra on my wall because
go.
it's just insane. I'd rather buy a house. you
Yeah,
know?
I don't leave most of the. Well, I guess that's not true. I mean, pretty much everything I buy that's modern is rare enough where I can get collector coverage on it.
Yeah.
But if I couldn't, like, there's no way. Like, even Mr. Wags, that's a good example. That car is not quite rare enough in the insurance company's eyes
Yeah.
to get an exemption for collector coverage, even though it's pretty much irreplaceable. So that car, honestly, it doesn't have liability on it almost ever because it's so expensive.
No.
Like, it sits in a garage with a reasonable deductible and comprehensive only most of the time. And when I
That's-
need to drive it, I send them a message because, yeah, even for me, like, I make enough money to be comfortable. And it's that car, if I left it insured all the time, would be just ridiculous.
Oh yeah, no, that's the thing is
And it's a wagon, a base model, low engine wagon.
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, granted, it is a BMW, but that's the thing.
It's a fabulous car.
But that's the thing is 20 years ago, a BMW a base model BMW would not have that kind of insurance.
No, and even today, an E30 is cheap.
So
So
there
cheap.
you go. That's another reason why when people say, "Oh, millennials are ruining the car market," no, it's not.
I hate saying that millennials are victims of circumstance or
They
victims of
totally are.
like the world that they were born into, but they totally are.
No, they totally are. The greatest generation, victims of circumstance. They happen to work out very well.
Yep.
But-
And who knows? Maybe the next 20 years will be very kind to millennial. I just
That's
don't know.
true. I mean,
As they take control of the world, it may.
yeah, no, I'm sure there were people, there were Edwardians, like era, that generation,
Yeah.
that were bashing the greatest generation, saying you're ruining cars.
love to see
You're
that.
only buying the gas car, and you're listening to that swing music and having children out of wedlock.
You harlot!
You drink at a bar.
I would have
Horrible.
loved to have heard that. If I could go back in time for like 15 minutes, I just want to go with like a really angsty like conversation between two generations of ye old. Like, I don't really want to do anything else.
Say, Dad, I'm gonna put my hand down here. I'm totally done with this.
The buck stops here, sonny boy.
The buck stops here. I'm going home. I'm taking the news, but God damn it, you're a son of a bitch. But I mean, it's one of those things where I think, every single generation does this. and it's
Yeah, but they all do it in a different way.
yeah, they all do it in a different way. Well, this one's just so shocking because the baby boomers are doing it to us almost the exact same, almost word for word, the way the greatest generation did to the baby boomers, which I think is just really hilarious. I guess that's what happens when you develop Alzheimer's. So moving on.
Dang. That escalated quickly.
Yeah. So no, moving on. My whole point here is that there's all these outlets and shit that are saying, "Oh, millennials are ruining the car. Millennials aren't in the cars. People, you damn kids aren't in the car." It's like, no, dude, screw you. Like, no, kids are in the cars.
They're into a different thing, but they're still into cars.
Yeah, like kids. There are still millennials that are into cars. Like, I can find the biggest hipster millennial ever and go through their phone, and they will have a picture of like a Pike car or like an old like
They'll have a
boogie
picture
van or
of
something.
Tesla Model S in there.
Not even really. I mean, like, I'm talking about like most of the hipsters I know.
Okay.
Like most of the hipsters I know, I've never met one that is not excited about some weird car, and that's just the thing. It's not that people aren't in the cars. You just have to show them the right car.
And a lot of the people, I mean, excuse me, where millennials live these days, where it's most sensible, is close to their place of employment, which is usually a high density, usually in an affluent area, where you really can't afford to have a car.
And if you do,
If they
it's
live
gonna
in
be
suburbia, they're gonna have a car.
Well, that's the other thing is in those affluent, high-end neighborhoods.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have a car, you're gonna have something that's cheap to insure, and tiny and fun to drive.
Fiat 500, Honda Fit.
These
Mitsubishi
micro
Mirage.
cars that they keep cutting out of our market, that's where their sales are going to be. Because millennials frankly don't give a shit about crossovers. The only people who are buying crossovers right now are those kind of like elder millennials that are like
they Uber everywhere.
the early or the absolute latest Gen Xers. Those are the people that are buying these crossovers that are in suburbia. I really think that 5 years from now, the auto manufacturers are going to really be shooting themselves. They will have shot themselves in the foot.
Especially with fuel prices on the way back up.
Nobody's going to give a shit about your crossover in 5 years.
Right.
There's so many of them. They all suck. Bring back the Mazda 2. Things like that.
Yep.
I've never met somebody that doesn't enjoy driving a Mazda 2 on a curvy road. You know,
tiny
something
cars
like
are
that.
inherently fun because they're inherently light.
It's one of those things where, again, I want to go back to my thing where it's not that people aren't in the cars, you just haven't shown them the right one.
Right.
Because if you take somebody that like is super into like G bodies and muscle cars and stuff,
Tucker.
yeah, and every car you show them,
Hi, Tucker.
every car you show them is like a Nissan Pulsar.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna even care a little bit.
Right.
Like if every car that you ever saw was a giant engine lumbering land yacht, you would not care about cars at all.
Right.
This whole podcast
And
would be
crossovers.
this whole podcast would be about beer and like the rave scene or something.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I mean. Like it'd be some totally.
This
other
garage
thing.
wouldn't be here, and it wouldn't be full of these things.
It's just one of those things where like I've met a lot of people. I got this one friend named Josh who's the most quintessential millennial. He's a struggling artist that.
Is it Dvorak?
No, this is a different one. No, he's not running the car scene that much.
There's so many Joshes.
Anyway, yeah, it is.
There's so many Joshes that you can simply mention their name, and you're like, wait, which one? And
You've
it's
got to
like,
be Josh and me.
No, this is a real description of a person. His name is Josh. He makes custom painted kendamas with his arts degree.
What's a kendamas?
Those kendama, those little the stick and ball game. Where
Ball in a cup?
yeah,
Oh, he
kind of like
doesn't
ball in a
do
cup.
that
Yeah.
anymore.
Anyway, yeah. Let me just give this description of him. So he makes custom like artisan kendamas. He drinks craft beer. He lives in
Does
his,
he own a fixie?
Yes, because he can't afford a car. Lives in his dad's apartment.
Does he have a vape?
Yes. He plays a lot of like Magic the Gathering and
Oh, my
like,
word.
video games and stuff. And is and that's what he is. Like that's the quintessential millennial.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
And that guy did not give a half a shit about a car until I showed him what 70s van culture was. He had never heard of that at all.
That's a bummer.
And then when he had seen that, like it just like something clicked in his head. And he goes, "That's actually really cool. If I could get that, I would be about cars." And the same thing happened to me with Mocha. I showed Mocha an STI, and he had never seen one because to him he's his job at the time was he was a delivery driver at Jimmy John's, and now he's a general manager at Jimmy John's.
Mm-hmm.
But an STI to him as a Jimmy John's delivery driver was a perfect car. It was all-wheel drive. It was fairly reliable. It was safe. It was a wagon. It could fit a lot of stuff in it, and it would go anywhere. Like that to him was a perfect car. It's one of those things where I think with millennials saying that they're not into cars is just patently false. You
They
just
haven't
haven't
had
shown them
time
the
to
right
been
one.
exposed to the right one.
Exactly. It's exactly that. And I think that, with these electric cars, a lot more millennials will be getting into cars.
I
once
agree,
these start
too.
getting cheaper.
And I honestly think that like the electric market, I mean, that if that's the first car they get into, they'll probably then be exposed to car culture
Yes.
and then find other things
That's exactly how it goes.
to, I mean, like, oh yeah, I bought a Tesla. It's kind of fun. It's fast. Like
I-
then like their friend has a gas car. Then they get in that thing one time. Like, wow, this is fun too.
Exactly. It's like when you see somebody that's like says, I don't like music. And then you show them a kind of music that they
Right,
like, and they
right.
suddenly become a music fan.
That's
Like,
just there's so much variety. It's almost impossible to not like some part of it.
yeah, it's exactly that. And I think that's kind of where I want to get this is when if you are a millennial,
Yeah.
and somebody tells you that millennials aren't into cars, you can tell them to shove it because they're just wrong. You can't
I pretty
say-
much tell everyone to
you
shove
can't
it. So.
you can't justifiably say millennials as a whole are blank. That's just not true.
Yeah, it's pretty baseless.
You just have to market it differently, maybe. But you can sell it.
Right. I mean, you could say genuinely like millennials are
Yeah.
slower to get into
Yeah, fair. It's
car
slower.
culture.
Yeah.
It's just like they're too busy. I mean, I guess that's a facet I totally identify with.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always out there doing something because I have to.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure later on in life, like I'm building up to a point where like it'll be easier and I'll be able to relax more. And
No,
do
it's just
fewer
one of those things. Yeah,
but-
where like what I do is every day, everything I'm doing,
Yeah.
like to sustain cars being my thing,
Yeah.
I have to monetize every second of everything I'm doing with cars to be able to remotely afford any of it.
I see.
And that's one of those things where a lot of millennials are willing to do that right now, and I think that's the example
Well,
of why
millennials
it's
are really
taking so long.
attached to quality of life. So I mean,
Yeah.
they work long hours to make a modest sum in a lot of cases, and yeah, I mean
It's
they don't have a lot
quality
of
of
room
life.
for exactly.
Yeah,
They
and
don't have
that's
a
the
lot
thing
of room
is
for that hobby. So
I'm also trying to maintain a quality of life. I don't want to be sitting
Right.
here eating ramen noodles forever and then have like the world's dopest like 500 horsepower Cressida. I'd rather have like a 200 horsepower Cressida that works kind of.
and have steak.
Yeah, exactly. And like drink a beer that isn't made by Budweiser, you know? So,
Anheuser-Busch.
yeah, exactly.
I think they make Budweiser.
Yeah. So that was basically my thing. It's just
Sure.
that was utterly false hearing that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I do know a lot of people, even quite a bit younger than me, that are super into cars, and they've become more into it as I've opened their eyes to certain other facets of car culture.
Yeah, exactly. It's like not every car has to be. It's not like this isn't like a respectable builds thing or anything, but like not all cars.
I don't respect all
no,
builds. For the
absolutely
record.
not. But it's like not all cars have to be this multi-million-dollar show car.
Right.
You build a car for yourself.
I prefer cars that are kind of a sweet spot in the middle.
Yeah. No, I want to
Like even driving the Murcielago around versus the 355. It's kind of asinine to make this comparison, but like
the 355. You're
it's
like,
way better.
yeah. No,
Like
but
it's usable. You can fit it anywhere.
no, that's a very good example. What you're doing basically is you're equating that for somebody that makes 6 figures. Like that,
Right.
it's the same issue. It's the
I'm
same
like,
issue. It
That's
happens
definitely
regardless of-
a car that you can meet your heroes on.
Yes.
The Murci, I would just look at it.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's like driving a Civic versus owning a Civic Type R.
Right,
like
right.
just a normal Civic versus a Civic Type R. It's
Yep.
The Type R, like EK Type R, you're not gonna drive that anywhere.
No,
'Cause
hell no.
If it gets stolen, if you get it to a fender bender, you're ruined.
You're worried about it the whole time you're driving it.
But if you have like a base model EK with a GSR swap in it, cool, $4,000 in, and you're gonna have a blast.
yeah, just
So
go beat the ever living balls out of it and call it good.
yeah, it's about having the right car for you. And
Mm-hmm.
if you think that you like something that's stupid, just remember.
It's great to love your car, but if you're too precious about it, you need to find something else.
Well, I think that the more importantly is it's not even that. I think it's more importantly is that if you have a car that you love and you're afraid to love it because you think it's not going to be cool, just remember, I have a 1986 Subaru GL10. I love it, and I go out and do podcasts and write for magazines and everybody. I tell everybody about my GL10.
If you drive a car and you own it, you get out of it in a parking lot, you
look
walk
back.
away, and you don't look back, you need to sell it.
Yeah, you need to get
You
a
need
better
to
car.
get rid of that car because it's not doing anything for you.
What if it's a free Toyota Sienna?
You need to get rid of it and get something
Yeah,
you like.
It's a quality of life thing.
Yeah.
Where you're gonna be putting gas
Back to
into
that
this
again.
thing. You're gonna be putting gas in this thing. You're gonna be insuring it. Get something that you like, not
Right.
something that you like.
I
Go,
get-
oh,
yeah.
it gets good gas mileage. Oh, I can fit my dog in it. It's like, you want as good gas mileage you can fit your dog in. It's fun to drive. A Mazda 2, a Mitsubishi Mirage, a Volkswagen Up if you live in your
Up, exclamation mark.
Volkswagen Up
There you go.
if you're in Africa.
Which we are right now, obviously.
Obviously. Like, I do love my Toyota Sienna. Like, I'm not going to be looking at it because it's a second generation Sienna. But, like,
Right.
I love that thing to death. Like, it's as far as a van goes, it's not that, like, bad to drive.
No, it's fine.
It's,
But I mean, you don't.
no, it's
Love
it's
it.
not pretty.
Right.
It's not.
So okay, I still stand by the whole thing. If you don't look
Yeah.
back at it when you walk
Yeah,
away.
no, if you don't, yeah, like that's the thing is, if I had if you have something like a Toyota Sienna, like, and you find like some like van culture with a K, like that will
with
make
a K.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Have you ever heard of that?
Van
the-
culture
Van
with a
culture,
K.
Yeah.
They make, like, they take,
Like-
it's a bunch of, like, dads that their wife made them get a van.
Oh,
and they're
okay.
like,
Is that like
"Okay."
that Black Odyssey or
Yeah.
Yeah,
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 that's where it came
with the
from.
big brake kit and all that?
And
yeah, that's
I
a van.
think it's
That's one of those.
genius because they were, like, forced to get this car, right? And
yeah.
they're like, no, I'm not, I'll do this, but I'm
Bisimoto?
gonna do it my way.
Yeah, Bisimoto is exactly a perfect example of
Yeah.
van
My
culture.
wife wanted a Honda Odyssey, but I still wanted 1,000 horsepower because I want my kids to be into cars like I am into cars.
And I think that's the most beautiful thing because that's a culture that's been around in Japan forever.
I know.
Like, literally, van culture from the 1970s came to Japan and never ended. And I'm so happy it's coming back to America.
And
And
I've got a photo of that Odyssey.
also, a lot of these people are that are really building these. It's actually a lot of millennials too that are like older millennials, like like our age, that like they just got into like old school Hondas and stuff, and then they had a family. Yes, that one. Well, here, why don't we just
wow, this is really hard for my. There. So that a Black Odyssey,
But yeah,
giant
if
brakes.
you want to see, if you're stuck in a free Toyota Sienna like I am, go to Van Culture. I think they're mostly on Instagram.
Yeah, they also have
They
a
also
website too, and
website
Facebook and everything.
Facebook, but I see the most on Instagram, and you just see these like mostly third gen Siennas, and you go, "What is that?" And then you're like, "Oh my God, that's a Sienna."
Well, then you also learn like, oh, in Japan, it's like somebody. I remember I was watching a guy who was just joined the Van Culture Facebook group, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I just got this like hand-me-down RA1 Odyssey. RA1's a first generation Odyssey. He goes, I just got a hand-me-down Odyssey from my grandma," and people were like, "Oh, tight, dude, get like a walled body kit on her, a Mugen body kit." And he goes, "What?" And then they showed it to him. He's like Fast and Furious. Like, no, not like Fast and Furious. Like actual
Very
VIP
correct,
builds
yeah.
and stuff. And like they started like posting up all this stuff, and like things started clicking in his head. And so like the dude like ended up
My van is cool.
Yeah, no, he ended up doing like a H22 swap.
Nice.
He lowered it. He put on I don't think he got. I think he got a knockoff Mugen, but he still got a Mugen style body kit for it, which actually exists and looks really tight. Can you look up RA1 Odyssey Mugen? So people understand what this body kit I'm talking about looks like. But this guy basically got like an old school Odyssey and made like a really dope build out of it, and it was really cool. RA1 is one word, yeah. MUGEN, yeah. But
This keyboard sucks.
yeah, so like that's an actually cool body kit. Once you go to screen share.
I mean, it looks very, very period.
But I mean, like when people say like, "Oh, I got this hand-me-down Odyssey," that's something that'll make you look back at your Odyssey. Like you just need to be excited. It's not about having the coolest thing; it's about having something that gets you excited. And if
Oh, that's a different one.
yeah, that's a different one, but still, it's like
There
kinda-
we go.
yeah.
There's Mugen.
yeah. But it's just one of those things where you
There's like a ladder on the back of this Odyssey.
yeah, that's a weird thing. It's Japan, dude. Who cares? It's just one of those things.
It's to get to your luggage rack on the top.
It's in stock.
There are so many different kinds of different subcultures within automotive culture. There is something that you're gonna like. That's
Right.
our end story here. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. You just if you don't like cars, you haven't dug into it enough yet.
exactly. So we'll van culture. We'll have a link to them on our
It's a blurb.
Yeah, in the blurb, and I'll also do one on the blog as well.
Oh, sliding doors. You should get a Peugeot 1007 and put it in van culture.
Yeah.
Dude, yes. Get your Renault Aventime.
Oh yeah. I told Janich I want to try to pursue a show or display exemption on an Avantime because I think I could make a case for that thing being significant.
You
enough.
absolutely can, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause-
I looked at the list of some of the stuff that's in this country. I'm like, it's just because it's rare.
yeah.
I'm like, the Aventime's super rare.
I think my favorite one's the guy that bought 2 years before the SVX became 25 years old.
Yeah.
He got a show or display title for one.
Oh my god.
He bought 3 of them from Japan, crash tested 2 to keep one, and the one he wanted had a really cool story. It's crazy low miles. It's owned by this little old man who owned a grocery store in rural Okinawa.
You don't
or
have
something.
to comply with safety standards anymore, though. You just have to comply with emissions.
Yeah, but no, I think it was before it was 25. So I think he actually the guy went through
So you're telling me I've got to buy 3 Avantimes and
No,
crash
I
test 2?
I don't know what he did. I'll have to look it up on JNC. Well, if I can find it, we'll talk about it next episode.
Okay.
But yeah, this guy actually went through everything a SVX actually federalized, and it's by the time he was done, it was 6 months until the
You could
SVX was
just bring it in
25.
in earnest, yeah.
It kind of just the guy did not have a lawyer.
It's like Harold
clearly.
bringing in the Z1 a year and a half before it was legal to bring in. I'm
Exactly
like,
that.
okay.
It's what did you what did you accomplish here?
I was first Z's.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what he accomplished there.
So, hey, let's talk about
Yes.
the Tesla.
Yeah.
Model 3,
So, okay.
because-
Last week we talked about Tesla getting rid of the rear-wheel drive high-capacity battery and giving us the medium-capacity battery at the rear-wheel drive and then lowering all the prices.
Yeah.
So 2 days after that happened, Tesla put a $1,000 price increase on the new cheapest one. So they dropped it $4,000 essentially, but also dropped the battery capacity. And then 2 days later, they silently increased the price of that model $1,000.
We're gonna drop it $4,000. We're gonna raise it 1,000.
Yeah. So that's 25% of the drop. And then also the battery is significantly smaller. So that's a horrible deal.
Yeah, there's gonna be people that can buy it though.
I
There's
know.
totally gonna be
Well,
people
I
that can
mean, they're
buy it.
still selling them like hotcakes.
Do you know how many black Model 3s we're gonna see on the side of the road that ran out of battery?
It's gonna be me, man. It's gonna be me. No, I'm pretty much decided I'm gonna buy a first year Model S.
With your Class 3 trailer hitch with a
Towing a car
industrial
or
an
something.
industrial generator hooked up to a fast charger. The fast charger plugged in.
Yes.
It's a hybrid.
It's basically a Volt. Don't look into it.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I thought that was really funny. I had to click on the link and make sure it wasn't a super old, a year-old link or something like that.
No,
from
it was
Tesla.
it was a real thing.
It was a real thing, and it was literally 2 days after they dropped the price. So, yeah, they dropped it from 33,000. Sorry, increased it from 33,200
can only go-
after incentive.
Those can only go 125 miles an hour.
Yeah, they're direct drive, so the motors can only spin 16,000 RPM or
That's
something.
dumb.
I mean, look at the Fiat. That thing's limited to 100 or not 100 even 88.
So transmissions,
I know. I think the all-wheel drive one can do 155.
but still, it's this is why I like transmissions, so you don't run into this issue.
Yeah,
This
but
is
the
why-
parasitic loss. If you put a transmission on this thing, A, it's gonna break, and B, it's way less efficient.
Well, no, you just do something basically a 2-speed.
Yeah, even the 2-speed transmissions, it's really hard to build one that'll take that kind of torque reliably.
GM did it in the 1950s.
With a torque converter,
Yeah.
that's parasitic power loss all day long right there.
Okay. But look how much faster it is.
That is completely not on the mind of any EV
You
buyer.
know what's going to happen if somebody does that is there's going
What?
to be the person going 175 in his Model 3 with a Power Glide. And
They have been
he's gonna
researching
be-
2-speed transmissions on these, but they
he's
haven't
going to
been
be
doing it.
he's going to laugh his way all the way home while the person without the parasitic loss is sitting there at a top speed 125. I feel like
125 is fine. I actually kind of like the speed limiter on the Fiat as a daily driver thing because, it would be so hard for me to be arrested in that car.
it really would be. I just feel like there's somebody there. I have to research this. I feel like there was somebody in like 1895 that was laughing at the person that had a transmission in their car. He goes, "I don't have any parasitic loss. Look at my 3.5 horsepower." Yeah, and this guy with like 1 horsepower to the wheel.
And a 2-speed non-synchro mesh transmission.
It takes him like twice as long to get the speed, but now his top speed is 45 instead of 40.
Can you imagine doing 45 miles an hour in like an early turn of the century powered vehicle?
That
Oh.
does not sound safe.
No, I bet it would have been thrilling though.
Well, we saw the picture of Camille Gentazzi's his streamlined horseless or electric horseless carriage.
Yes,
That
we
thing
did.
Looks like you will fall out if you move.
You
Yeah,
probably
you
would.
probably would. Yeah. there's a good reason prior to 1955 there was like a 33% like fatality rate at every car race.
Well, a lot of that was like tempered glass windshields too, and
Like
stuff like
yes,
that.
severing arteries.
Yeah, lots of arterial blood. Anyway, but yeah, that's all I really want to talk about. I'm trying to keep the EV stuff to at least a little bit of a reduction this week, because last week it was just like
It's been
motor
bad.
green.
It's been bad for like a month. It's just been
Whatever. I
it's-
like EV topics.
No, I
They're
do too,
interesting.
but
it's
it's-
very front and center.
Yeah, but it's like if you took the chains off of me talking about pre-war.
Yeah, but I have all the volume knobs, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's I mean, like if you just didn't touch those and I just continuously talked about Duesenbergs and Mormon meteors and stuff like that.
Why is this not working? There we go.
Um,
Mormon meteors.
yeah, that was actually it was a Duesenberg land speed record car. It was made in Utah.
No way.
Anyway, so I want to talk about another piece of news
'Kay.
that's equally as stupid.
That's tough, but okay. I'll
In
try it.
Canada,
Okay.
there's a conservative politician who's trying to ban right-hand drive vehicles.
What?
Yeah, Japanese imports have a 15-year law. He's
Yeah,
trying
no,
to
I
just,
know.
ban them outright.
Um,
This is the thing.
that's dumb.
He just got like a massive campaign contribution from the Automotive Dealer Association of Alberta.
Of course.
Yeah,
Greasing the wheels of justice, eh?
yeah, exactly.
It's a heck of a project they've got going up there.
But well, you know, luckily the Canadian government's trying to throw some maple syrup on this to slow us down. And
How topical.
I know, right? And they are they're actually looking into this breaking campaign finance law. But yeah, no, basically that might be the grossest kind of politician, because this is basically a Republican that wants to take away your car.
Yeah, that's going to be a hard pass for me.
Yeah, that's
then.
everything I don't want.
I just want to know what kind of maple syrup is being.
Aunt Jemima's.
Oh, that's not even
Not
maple
even-
syrup.
Not even
That's
the
just
good
high
stuff?
fructose corn syrup.
Yeah. Well, you see,
it's
there
not
were.
the good stuff that people.
Well,
smuggle in
yeah,
and
it's because the other side's being paid off by the maple syrup lobby, so which is a real lobby in Canada.
That's a big thing in Canada.
But no, in this article that I read on Japanese Nostalgic Car, written by our previous guest Ben Shu, he quoted Jalopnik in it that they did a lot of heavy lifting with this. But so basically, the Motor Dealer Association had a bunch of other following issues that they wanted to add. So they wanted to add a carbon tax, provincial carbon tax will be scrapped immediately. They actually want to get rid of that. That's fine. Other taxes, they wanted to roll back a lot of other taxes. They would freeze minimum wages for automotive plant workers. They'd have kind of labor codes. Some labor codes would be canceled. And then they would have Consumer Protection Act changes in Canada rolled back as well, which would basically not allow people to sue automotive manufacturers in Canada. Yeah,
Kind of
this
want to
is-
maintain that.
This is super greasy. Like, this is not cool at all. And then, yeah, requiring the last one is government action banning imported right-hand drive vehicles. Legislation will be pushed through the legislature. Wow, that is shitty and greasy and gross.
That's
and
a mouthful and really terrible.
when people say, "Hey, I want a businessman for a politician,"
Thanks,
no,
Alberta.
you do not, because that's what you get. So that's what would happen if America didn't have it. Well, actually, no. This is. I was gonna say if America didn't have a strong automotive lobby, but no, this is a gross automotive lobby.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this is. You know what they really should do though? They should just start fucking importing the cars because obviously they're selling to become this big of an issue.
Yep.
Just buy out
I want to bring my Avantime into Canada.
like there's got to be like a competitor that's as good as Top Rank in Canada. Just fucking buy them out, and then say, here you go. Now we have this fully fledged industry, and now we can roll in Skylines into our Nissan dealership. Wow, that's gonna get millennials in.
Yeah,
Holy
but
crap,
it's not
look at all
going to
these
make them as
Nissan
much money
Versas.
as their new garbage cars.
Actually, no, you don't make any money off cars. Off new cars, it's used car sales where all the money's made.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, there must be a reason behind why they're doing that in regards to new car profits.
Because people are buying. Why would you buy a Nissan?
Why are they targeting RHD?
Well, this time it's not just that; it's imported cars. So, if you can buy a cool K car like a Nissan Pal, which is essentially the perfect car for millennial,
Yeah.
why would you ever want to buy a Nissan Versa when you could buy a Pal for less money?
Oh, because it has more space for all their
It's-
thrift shopping.
It's got the Pal has got. It's cheaper. It's got as much space. It's more fun to drive. It has the same engine as the Nissan March that was available in Canada at the time, so you can find all the parts for it. And it's way cheaper and super cute. That's why.
The
Because
super cute's got me
yeah.
sold.
But that's the thing is nobody's going to buy a Nissan Versa when you can buy a Pal for less money, and that's the main issue. And to be honest, Canada, they do have way more right-hand drive cars on the road than we do because they have a 15-year rule, not a 25. And really, 10 years makes a big difference because if you think about 25-year-old cars daily
Well,
driving,
we
that
can
was
import
a little a little tough.
1994.
93 this year.
It will be 94 next year.
Right, but like 94 model year. 93 production.
Yes,
Okay.
that's true.
So, yeah, that would be 2003.
Yeah, if
So
you think about that,
Canadians can import Avantimes right now.
they can import Aventimes. They can import the every
R34.
variant of the R34
so are
Skyline.
you saying we move to Canada?
I just want to be annexed.
Yeah, I concur.
That'd be great. It would
You-
solve all the problems. I could have this fabulous garage, and I could have an Avantime.
V6 Clio they can get.
Oh, Series 2 Clio.
Yep,
That'd be
you can
cool.
get that. You can get all the first generation of Twingo. You can get
Merci, Twingo.
you can get like all the cool cars. You can get the Smart Roadster.
Yep. With the Hugh Grant transmission.
Every single car was featured on the first season of Top Gear.
Yeah.
You can now get in Canada. Before they had James May, where they sold that fat
The
man.
beautiful thing is the Avantime's first feature on Top Gear was before Top Gear got its new.
That's really funny. Actually.
Richard Hammond had like a Motor World thing in 2001. It was before the reboot of Top Gear.
Yep.
Incredible. So that just tells you how long 25 years is.
Yeah, like that's.
I mean, that's most of my life. So
Yeah, no, it's most kids in college are not 25 these days.
that's true. Come to
Yeah.
think of it, I suppose you graduate when you're 18. So
Yeah, you're leaving college usually if everything goes perfectly. You're leaving college at 25. That never really happens because most of the people I know are leaving college are like 28.
I left college
No,
at 23.
You're supposed to be able to leave college by like 21.
Supposed to.
21 if you're smart, 23 if you're normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, 25 if you're like a millennial and don't have any money, and then like 28 for like most humans. So
I want to talk about another car that millennials might want to buy due to its tremendous safety features.
the-
I saw one of these the other day.
Was it a press car? Must have been.
I saw one driving down Lowry.
They
It
are
had to have
pretty.
been a press car.
So Volvo just released their 2019 S60, and no manual option, so I don't really care. But it is gorgeous. I mean, I'm gonna try to blow this up on the feed. so everyone
this
else
is
can
one of
see
those
it.
cars where, in all honesty, I think I'm okay with it being a 2-liter 4-cylinder with automatic transmission because it is really
The Swedish
beautiful.
corporate engines are actually pretty okay. It seems like. I'm just gonna scroll through slowly because the encoding is not liking this at all, and the back end's kind of modern Volvo, whatever, kind of boring. But the front end, man, that front quarter view is just really nice.
That car takes everything that a current body style Jetta is and does it correctly.
And they updated
Like
their
with the
corporate
body.
badge a little bit too, which is super cutesy. They flattened it and domed it, and they like made the point of the male symbol like a little bit smaller.
Oh, cool.
or whatever. They knocked it out of the park. Volvo's making some really attractive cars. I mean, I even saw an XC90 today. I'm
So,
like, that's
a lot
not
of
bad looking.
my parents are going to
Jana, we can't hear you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
You should put on your headphones so you can hear.
A lot of parents are going at my school are going to Volvo rather than Subaru right now, and
Yeah,
I love seeing them pull in. Like
Yeah.
they look really similar,
they
but
have
at
a
the same
presence
time,
for
they're-
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're much more monolithic. I think Subarus are. These just seem more substantial. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, this is the thing. Well, they're both very substantial, but I think the thing is that the Subaru and Volvo buyers are the same person. It's just the Volvo buyer is a Subaru buyer that makes another $30,000 per year.
And probably works in geology or drafting or
yeah, like
something
I said,
really
I have
pretentious.
to say, all the archaeologists I know have Subarus.
Yeah, that
it's
makes
just
sense.
archaeology. Well,
Yeah.
Do any of them
archaeologists
drive
and-
Honda Elements?
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
the
kind of surprising.
a
Yeah.
Subaru makes a
None
much
that
better
I know,
all-wheel
but I
drive.
wouldn't be surprised.
Oh yeah, the real-time four-wheel drive and Element is not the
It's
same thing
no.
as Subaru.
No,
What do you mean
Subaru's the
with
way
what's
to
your
go.
tires? Like we've only kicked it in while trying to do donuts on the lake. Like you never really need four-wheel drive with that thing.
No, it's
But
very
anyway,
well designed.
yeah, this thing apparently is built in the United States. It's their first U.S. built chassis.
So it's a Chinese car made in America,
Yep.
sold under a Swedish name.
Hello, industrious little fellows.
And Donald Trump
And-
is having an aneurysm. He does not know what to do right now.
And I'm sure by the end of the life cycle of this car, they will all be electrified. Because I remember we were talking about
Yeah.
Volvo planning in the next 5 years to have every one of their vehicles be at least a PHEV or a battery electric vehicle. But yeah, the interior is not quite as nice as the outside. I mean, I'm sure the seats are immensely comfortable because it's a Volvo, and it's cool that they're making them here. Look at the reviews. V60, the wagon one.
Why am I going to Tiffany engagement, whatever the fuck?
Because you hit
Ooh,
one
look
of
at that
my
wagon.
bookmarks.
No, I didn't. I clicked Control R.
And let me turn down Ryan's microphone while I talk about this V60. This is like the sedan version.
Sorry,
even
I'm
better.
having horrible technical issues.
There you can see the badge a little bit better. It's pretty good.
I like it.
I think, yeah, I like the really wide, kind of low roof line. I think that's a very attractive car. So good on you, Volvo. I don't think the wagon's made in the United States, but I know the sedan is.
My
so.
my computer is now a little pink brick.
Yeah, we can see that on the stream there. I'll pull up the notes for you on the screen.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And
Ever
Ryan,
gonna buy a laptop?
next article is
It
you.
was. Yes, it is. me.
Welcome, sound engineer Corey.
Yeah, Corey finally got here.
Yeah, Ryan
Hopefully you
likes to
found a cold one
complain
of those.
about-
Most of them are not cold.
Actually, funny enough, that's exactly what I'm gonna do right now. Is I'm gonna be. I want to talk about the Porsche
Nice
924
Let's do it.
because we're talking about the Volvo and how the Volvo looks very.
Talking about the
good.
Volvo?
Not the Volvo. We're talking about the Volvo.
Oh.
Yeah, the Volvo and how the Volvo looks really good.
Ah.
And the thing with the Volvo is the Volvo takes a lot of stuff that just sounds normal. Like they do a 3-box sedan and they make it gorgeous.
Yeah.
The 924, however, is literally a list of everything that I like done in the worst way possible.
But do you not like it because of that?
It bothers me. That's the thing about the car.
I still keep.
I can't say I actively dislike it.
Every
it
time
just
I drive my
bothers me.
boss's 924, I think about asking him if I can just have it and put a TDI engine in it. Because like it's
Can I just, like,
it's
have this?
mint. And, like he hasn't driven it in more than 10 years.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, the thing is like, all right. So if you think of everything that I like in a car, I like straight lines. I like symmetry.
We know.
Yeah, I like wedge shapes.
And
I
you
like
want it to kill
I
you.
like bubble rear glass.
Mm-hmm.
I like the big taillights on it. It does everything I like on it. But the thing is that none of it flows together.
What about doilies?
Yes.
Doesn't have any doilies.
It should have some probably.
No, Hep has doilies on his Skyline.
Of course he does.
But no, it's what the 924 reminds me of. It reminds me of like a German version of a Fiero, or like
Oh
a
yeah,
Lotus
it's a parts
Elite,
bin car for sure.
where it's like everything that
a Fiero 2M4.
Yeah.
Not like an 88 GT.
No.
Yeah.
Or like, do you know what a Lotus Elite is?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, the hatchback
We've
they made
talked
in the
about it on the
70s. Yeah,
podcast,
that it reminds me of that. It's everything I should like in like the least attractive way possible. And it bothers me because I want to
You
like
can
the
make a
924.
924 good, but it takes a lot.
Yeah, you can. It basically would have to be the Carrera Turbo. those are actually very, very good looking.
They're very
vehicles.
rare.
Yeah, well,
I'd even
obviously.
take a 924S potentially, but
I guess, yeah. I mean,
you not a stock one. You're gonna have to put wheels on it. You're gonna have to lower it. You're gonna have to tint it. You're gonna have to put the 944 spoiler on it.
I don't think I'd put this. I would probably leave it without the spoiler. I'd have to lower it for sure, and wider wheels. Yeah, I think that would
Yeah.
help. No, 'cause I was looking at my boss's 924, which we were restoring it, and then he went like gung ho on like the body restoration. Now it's flawless, and like now we're into body work for more than the car as a whole is worth alone. So,
Oh my!
and I'm like, but no, I just said paint the door, not the whole car.
Whoops!
You had a white door. I told you if you paint this white door black and you blend it all together, it'll sell for more. And now we have the best looking 924 you've ever seen in your life. Great. So,
I don't know, man. My boss's car is gorgeous.
well, I mean, that's I mean, like when you look at it, you go, this is a very nice 924.
Right,
And
but
then
like
you're
also nobody cares at
but
all.
it's on sense. It's like great. We now have the best 924 in the
Is
world.
it a 2-liter?
It's a 2.7 or whatever.
That's a 4-cylinder or 5-cylinder?
Four cylinder.
That's probably a 2.0.
No, it's
what
a-
year is it?
77.
Definitely a 2.0.
Is it? No, it's bigger.
No, I thought there were 2.5s, but they're 2.0s.
It has. We have to look it up.
My boss is the 78, which is the same engine as that. It's a non-interference Audi 2-liter.
If it's not interference, I'm a lot more of a fan of it.
It's a non-interference engine, but
That's
it
pretty
also
cool.
makes no power because it
I-
has CIS.
Don't care. I literally don't care. It doesn't make power. Well, the thing is, when have I ever cared about a car not making power? Like every car I love is slow. Like,
That's true.
I prefer cars for the aesthetic and for like the handling. Like, 'cause, I don't know. I get up to speed and I just kind of stay there.
That's fair.
So
I'm gonna actually try to find the bring a trailer link to my boss's car.
but yeah, so it's just one of those cars where it's like it's so close to being a good car, and it's just like just barely missed the mark. And that is why the 944 is worth so much more money.
And honestly, you can buy one for the same money as a nice 924, so it really makes no sense.
Yeah, that's the thing is like the 924, the best 924 in the world has to be as much as the worst 944.
Not quite how that works, but I mean, I get
Well,
what you're
I
saying.
mean, that's the thing. Just generally for the market, like the best 924 that you can get has to be close to. That looks really good.
So that's,
and
that's my boss's 924.
and
But
that's-
it's got the turbo hood
and
and
the-
front vent, and it's got the 944 rear spoiler, and it's got period correct ATS phone dials on it.
yeah, that looks really good. Yeah, that's exactly how a 924 should look.
I mean, it sold for $7,500, but the guy was a deadbeat. So
yeah,
it didn't sell.
that car is very, very nice.
It's absolutely pristine. And yeah, 2-liter 4-cylinder, non-interference, 4-speed transaxle.
You know, we might actually have a I'm gonna have to look under the hood.
If you have
again.
a 5-speed, it's probably an 80 or an 81.
This one's kind of
Bastard.
I think so.
Okay.
Because when we were doing like the
Look at that CIS.
when we were doing the restoration on it, like finding every single part, I had to go off like the part number
Mm-hmm.
because nothing matched up.
Ooh,
It was really weird.
that's not good.
like trying to find the alternator bushing. That
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, just order an alternator.
No. This is on the bracket, which you cannot find. You have to get this bushing. It took me a month and a half to find it. I eventually found out if I got like basically a radio telescope and I shine it, I point it at the bushing, there is a part number stamped on it.
Where did you find a radio telescope
I
in your
didn't
shop?
really.
Okay.
But no, it was a really, really powerful.
Come into this.
Yes. No, I did get some very, very sharp, like I guess not really binoculars, but like kind of essentially magnifying glass. But no, on the inside of the bushing, so like the bushing is like kind of like an eye shape. It's like round and it has like a lip and the inner bit and then another lip.
Mm-hmm.
On the inside edge of it, or sorry, on the outside where the indentation is,
Yeah.
on the inside lip, if you shine the light just right and you zoom in enough, you'll see a part number written down.
Great.
Yeah.
And hopefully you're able to read it.
Yes, I had to kind of ad lib out like 3 characters on it of like
fine.
a 10 character
That still
part number,
counts,
but
you
I
know.
Just
eventually
roll a
sorted it out.
dice.
Yeah, it took me. That's why it took me so long. It was horrible.
Checking every variant of the unsure numbers.
But yeah, so anyway, the 924. I just wanted to state that car is. I was looking at it and it's like the front end I really
know.
want to like, and it's
I
just
know.
it's so close to perfection. It's like a first generation RX-7. It's so close to perfection, but then the FC exists.
I don't really like the first gen RX-7.
That's what I mean. It's really close to being a good looking car. I've seen them good looking. Like you put a
Yeah.
spoiler on the back and
Yeah.
lower it, and it's an amazing looking
for sure.
car.
In stock form, the 924 is just kind of.
It's one of those things where it's like, but then when they did the FC RX-7 was like the 944.
Yep.
Where it was just such a quantum leap in quality that why do you even care?
You get
Unless-
better
unless-
transmission,
unless
better
you got, like-
brakes, better engine, better exterior, better
The
interior.
only exception would be like the very, very early 78, 79 SA22 RX-7. That's the one where it's okay. It's got the 70s rear end, so it all works, but
Oh my god.
the rest of them don't. Anyway, talk to me about M3s.
Welcome to your obscure MotorCult vintage JDM reference of the day.
I know, right? I'm going to just replace my pre-war bell with that. That might as well be pre-war.
So remember, 2 weeks ago we talked about the new G80 3 Series finally ditching the manual transmission.
Yes.
Well, they officially announced that the M3 will not be ditching the manual transmission, at least not in this vintage.
You know, I feel like the whole allure of the 3 Series kind of, for me at least, ended when they switched from a E to an F prefix.
Yeah, and now they're in G. Like, what is it gonna be H? It's gonna be an H80 next.
It's like
It's just tough to figure out.
with the Civic EF, EG, EK, EA, EJ.
I mean, that doesn't make any sense to an outsider either.
All the older Civics. I'm just named off like basically every desirable Civic.
Right. Okay.
And then kind of when you went from like when you went to like the FDs and FCs and stuff like which is not only RX-7 but also a Honda Civic model designation prefix, which is annoying, and that's I partially why I'm not as fond of those cars. A lot, with the exception of like a very small handful, like they really got not attractive. Like the Mugen SI, like Kimmy's car, like that one's cool, but like basically every other Civic made after about 2001, with the exception of the Mugen SIs, weren't that great.
That is such a tangent. I'm not even sure how we got there.
I was just talking about how like when they just changed the name, or when they changed the model prefix.
Oh, so we're talking about
Yeah.
the chassis codes.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that's what I was saying, like
makes more
the
sense.
G's and stuff and
Okay.
the F's or whatever they're at. I can't care about
Let's
it as much.
ignore the new upcoming M3 that's going to replace the one that's currently on sale. Will not only not force you into the MX drive, you can buy it as a rear wheel drive straight up, which is awesome.
Oh, that's actually cool. All right.
And manual's still available. And I bet it's going to be a pretty high take rate.
You know what that is?
That's
That's the
enthusiasts beating the crap out of a giant car conglomerate.
that is the 10th generation Civic Type R of BMW. When the
Is that the modern Civic Type
yeah,
R?
where the enthusiast finally wanted, and then the conglomerate comes back and goes, okay, yeah, you can have it. Look at that exterior. Ah!
We'll see. There's no photos of this yet. I'm sure there's renderings, but I'm actually going to click on this link.
Yeah, I'm curious how it would look, because
May debut in the 2019 Frankfurt show. Great.
So they're not gonna have any pictures of it or anything.
Woo. Oh, well, there's some spy shots.
Scroll down. I want to take a look at it. It's kind of that rear end looks like a B5 Audi.
That's a lot of camo.
Yeah, it's really hard to figure out what's going on there.
Look at that muffler. What the heck? It's got like a
That is
diffuser built
super
into
weird.
the can.
Yeah, but I think we have to wait till Frankfurt
Yeah, I
2019.
think. Well, we'll bring you actual photos of this car when we can find them.
Yeah,
But in the
so once we
meantime,
know,
that is just ignore that basically. Yep. But it's coming with a manual, so BMW finally didn't shit the bed on something.
that's good.
That's all I got. I mean, I wanted to end on a positive note.
Do you
but-
remember when we were in high school and I was all like, hot and to trot for Hondas, and Hondas just sucking so hard for like 10 years?
Sure do.
Yeah, now you know how I feel. Your favorite car
I
brand.
already abandoned BMW.
Your
I just don't care.
your favorite car brand just ruins everything.
Yeah, I still don't. I don't have a favorite car brand right now.
Yeah, for me, it's Toyota. I really like Toyotas. I think.
If they bring the Supra thing, maybe. If there's a manual. Otherwise, no.
I just think like the car brand that I just more consistently get excited about than other car brands. Like I think Toyota's got to be up there.
I mean, they're the best. I don't know if they're the most exciting.
Well, ones that get me excited because I just know that they've like so many parts been engineered, fun chassis.
I mean, I do like the new Corolla hatch.
Yeah,
That
that's
thing is
very
rad.
cool. I'm actually more excited for the new Corolla hatch I am for the Supra.
Kind of same with the M3.
Like,
And it's like, this is just, it's cooler because it's a
But-
mass market car they're actually going to sell some of.
yeah, like this is gonna be a manual hot hatch. I think that should be a positive note. You know what? There's
Thank you, Toyota,
so many
for
shitty cars in
bringing
the world.
sense to the world.
The Corolla is the coolest car you can get right now.
Corolla hatch.
It's a Corolla hatch 6-speed. Go buy that. It's not even turbo and it's fun. It's great. It's perfect. You should buy one. Why are you not in it right now?
Pretty much. Cheap to insure, cheap to run, cheap to get
It's the
parts
car for
for,
millennials.
fun.
That's what millennials
Boom.
want.
That's the bombshell right
That
there.
is the bombshell. The 2019 Corolla hatch
Corolla
is the
hatch
millennial
6-speed
car.
is the
Yes.
millennial car.
Well, we will catch you on Halloween. So thank you for listening.
Actually, I will be out of town in Texas.
As of like 10 minutes from now when we record the next episode.
No, I mean on the 31st.
Well, yeah, but why
Well,
are you gonna
now
be,
they know our secrets. That's
why
all.
are you going to be in Texas?
Because I'm picking up my M5.
Oh, okay. I'm
So,
gonna be
yeah.
I'm be in Georgia next weekend. Oh yeah,
Cool.
right. I should mention that. Next weekend I will be in Georgia, so
Okay.
you're either gonna host on your own or we're gonna have to postpone it.
Well, I will also be out of town, so
Perfect. So, well, this will be the first week of November.
yeah, I'm gone from
okay.
the 31st of October through the 4th of November.
Perfect. So I get back on the 4th as well.
Okay.
You're gonna be in Texas. I'm gonna be in Alabama.
Yep.
Yeah. So you'll be south of the Mason
They're
Dixon
both
line.
terrible states.
Yes. What are you? You're going down to pick
Picking
up
up my
a car.
M5 and then I'm going to a vintage race.
my granny's she died.
That's a better reason to go somewhere, I guess.
It's fine. But she was an ass in Alabama, so I will be. Oh man, maybe I can get lucky and like we'll catch like a NASCAR race or something.
Maybe.
I'm going to a
Or
vintage
we'll have
race
to
with a lot of the
chase
Monterey
after
people.
Mouse, so
Dakota.
either way.
Yeah, my uncle Mouse is gonna be there, so that's gonna be fun.
That sounds pretty lit.
Yeah, every time he's always lit.
How are your yeehaws?
Yeehaw!
I don't think when I grew up
I regret that.
I grew up a small portion.
I instantly have regret at the thing that I just did.
When I was a kid, I
Merci,
spent, I
Tungo.
spent most of my summers in Alabama, so I'm just kind of assimilate a southern accent when I get down there. It just
Hell
happens.
yeah. I don't try to do it, but
I'm
every
gonna be
time I go
sitting duck
somewhere,
with my
I
very,
just end up talking
very
like the locals.
Fargo accent.
You gotta
Yeah,
slow down
Jan's
your
gonna be all-
intellect a little bit.
Jan's to be the laughing stock.
You're gonna talk like you're from Fargo.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
you
just how she
betcha.
normally talks.
That's
All right,
gonna be
let's end
really-
the
okay,
episode.
fine.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.